The end of Labour's parliament has finally concluded, bringing the Labour Party's reign to an end. Many of you might already know that Labour made bold promises before the last election. They painted a picture of hope and change, with promises to improve welfare, create a fairer society, and tackle rising inequality. However, since coming to power, their actions have often seemed at odds with their pre-election rhetoric, leaving many to wonder whether they have acted hypocritically. Amidst this growing concern, Conservative MP Jerome Moyer has now taken the Labour Party to task in Parliament over their honesty, grilling them in a way that left many asking hard questions about the government's integrity and trustworthiness. Let's take a closer look at this fiery exchange. Before we dive into the clip, we kindly ask that you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth coverage of the stories that matter most. Now let's see what happened when Jerome Moyer stood up to challenge Labour's handling of key issues. In a scathing question to the Labour minister, Moyer made his point clear. "Mr. Speaker," he began, "when I fought the last election, I was honest with my electorate, telling them that we would save £12 billion from the welfare budget. But was the minister honest with her electorate when she talked about plans to cut disability welfare? Or is she simply making policy on the hoof because the Chancellor has destroyed economic growth?" His words resonated in the chamber as the opposition benches braced themselves for what was sure to be an uncomfortable line of questioning. Moyer's questioning continued with sharp criticism aimed at Labour's handling of the economy. The former Chancellor, the member for Gooding and Ashmoy added, actually admitted during the general election that money had already been squandered. The truth is there was no plan. They didn't have a coherent strategy for economic recovery. The Conservative MP's remarks echoed widespread frustration with Labour's approach to managing the economy, which some have argued has been marked by inconsistency and failure to follow through on promises made during the campaign. His comments about the former Chancellor being unable to offer a realistic plan seem to strike at the heart of the issue that many feel has plagued Labour since assuming power from the Labour government's inability to deliver on its promises raised questions about their credibility. I'll listen more to the honourable member when they actually put forward a plan that works, he remarked, instead of having it discredited in the courts. A subtle reference to the legal challenges that have further undermined Labour's position on key issues. It wasn't just economic policy that was under scrutiny. Moyer also questioned Labour's stance on the welfare state, particularly concerning disability benefits. He accused the government of offering contradictory policies that were harmful to vulnerable citizens, rather than delivering on their promises of fairness. His words set off a chain reaction within Parliament, with MPs from across the political spectrum weighing in on the topic of trust and integrity in governments. Do you think Labour has betrayed the trust of the British people since coming to power? Moyer asked the minister directly, pressing them to answer for their actions. The question hung in the air as the entire House of Commons waited for a response. For many viewers, Moyer's bold interrogation was a powerful moment that cut to the core of the growing disillusionment with the Labour government. Was this the government that had promised a new era of trust and fairness? Or had they become just another group of politicians willing to say anything to get into power, only to abandon those promises once they had the reins of government? At this point, the conversation around Labour's honesty is gaining momentum. Many across the country are asking whether the promises made during the election were mere sound bites aimed at securing votes, rather than sincere commitments to the people. In conclusion, the heated exchange in Parliament highlights growing discontent with Labour's time in government. Jerome Moyer's pointed questioning exposed deep concerns about the party's ability to fulfill its promises, particularly regarding economic policy and welfare reform. His critique resonated with those who feel Labour's leadership has been marked by inconsistencies and broken commitments. As Labour's tenure comes to an end, The debate over their legacy continues. Were they truly agents of change? Or did they simply fall into the same political pitfalls they once denounced? With the nation reflecting on their performance, the question of trusting government remains as pressing as